What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here. We are back with another Tales of Crestoria video. So, this morning was the actual stream, the second stream. I assume the final stream because they didn't give us any indication that there would be a third one. But, okay, this needs to stop playing. But anyways, I'm just going to quickly go over the important details of what went on. So, basically, the stream started. They did, like, a long Q&A for, like, the first, 20-30 minutes. Then they showed us these 3D models. We got to see Yuna, we got to see Aegis, and we got to see Orwin, the deadbeat dad, as the fandom likes to say. So very cool 3D models. I'm very excited to see this in-game. Now, obviously, because it's a turn-based game, I feel like they can do a lot more with cutscenes and attack animations because it's not something that constantly has to be moving. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's not Tails because it's just turn-based. You just slap the Tails name on it. It's like, whatever. Don't play it then. But anyways, so Yuna and Kanata's seiyus were there as well as the producer was there. So they talked about the 3D models, which you saw right there. They did the Q&A. They did... Okay, and then here, about an hour in, 55 minutes in, if you want to go ahead to the actual stream and see this, they actually show off a skit that leads into some gameplay. I'm not going to play the whole thing here, but just to give you an idea, as you can see, here's the gameplay right here. You got Kanata on the left. There was his attack on Crest. So it seems like the story, this is going to be probably the tutorial fight. And it seems like Crest is going to be Kanata's mentor, which is pretty cool. Nice to see that for Crest, still teaching people. And then after you fight Crest, it shows Crest on your side to fight some enemies, which is interesting because people were talking about how the Tails characters will join us, but it may just be like temporary things. So on like certain missions, we may have a certain Tails character join us, and we won't actually own the character specifically, which I don't know how I feel about that. I'd prefer to actually just collect all the characters if that's how it's going to be. Like, if you're going to let me use the characters at all, I'd like to level them up myself. So I'm hoping it's one of those things where we actually do have the characters ourselves, just like any other gacha game. But I would like them to be obtainable, kind of like how Raise is, through events and story, and then make the gacha aspect, just make that, whatever weapons the characters will be using. Because obviously the sword you see Kanata using here is just a regular, steel sword. It's not the sword we've seen him use in the concept art, so there will be different equipment based on what we're seeing here, unless it's just story-based. But what I really liked about this was, let's move on ahead, so... like I said, this will obviously be the tutorial fight showing you how everything works. It works very much kind of like, I want to say Opera Omnia, but the only difference with Opera Omnia is, like, obviously your abilities have turns until they can be used again, but it's very Opera Omnia-esque, where you'll have 3 members on the field at once, and, you'll have to micromanage. It's basically Final Fantasy type gameplay, which I really like. And obviously people are going to be like, oh, like I said before, it's like, people are going to be like, oh, it's not Tails gameplay, this is just, whatever. And it's like, it's alright. You'll get your Tails game announced at Tails Fest this year. Just relax and let the people who want to enjoy this enjoy it. Sorry, it's just like, there's so much negativity with this game, and it's really not cool with how people are being about it. But anyways... what I thought was really cool about this is if we move ahead a little bit more. So it's going to be like in-game dialogue there. Where was it? I think I skipped it. They showed off, I'm trying to find Crest's Mystic art here. They showed it off on the stream, and I'm trying to see where... Okay, there it is, okay. And I'll just show this real quick. So I thought that was really cool. They really put a lot into the animation for Mystic Arts, which is really cool. Ray's does a good job with them as well, but I feel like this is like very well polished, so I'm very excited for this to see all the different characters we'll be able to use. So this is really cool. And that was pretty much the bulk of it. Then after this, they just went through and they did like a little funny skit as Kanata and Yuna, just kind of talking about, you know, the game and the characters and stuff. But obviously, if you don't understand Japanese, there's not really much there for you. And then they showed some concept art for the weapons and the characters. And that was pretty much the stream. Now, the thing that I want to talk about last, if I can find it here. I don't think I'll be able to find it. It's kind of hard to pinpoint one specific spot. So basically, they showed the Twitter campaign again about how many follows or retweets. I'm not sure which one it was, but basically, if we hit a certain number, that'll be what kind of rewards we get for the beginning, kind of like when you first log in after you do the tutorial and boot up the game. And the date for the Twitter campaign ends on the 24th of February. So that's 10 days from today. So why would they end a Twitter campaign if the game wasn't going to come out soon? So I think around the 24th, maybe when they drop the game, we may get a release date before then. And, you know, this will obviously be very obvious at that point. But I would say it's very likely that around that time, because there would be no reason to end the campaign if the game wasn't coming out. They would keep the campaign as long as time required. So I feel like around the 24th, it will launch. And I'm hoping it's, I mean, I assume it's going to be a dual release. The only thing that kind of there are two things that make me nervous about this. One, the English, you know, it's been almost 12 hours since the stream happened, and the English Crestoria Twitter hasn't posted a single thing. They haven't posted anything since January 15th, which makes sense because the Japanese Twitter didn't post anything until the last like 24 to 48 hours. So hopefully we see something from the English Twitter soon, even if it's just about the like 3D character models or something. But yeah, so that's my first thing is that the English Twitter hasn't posted anything. The second thing is I still would like some confirmation about whether it's going to be separate servers or one server. So like, for example, Dragon Ball Legends, obviously Japanese and English players can play against each other because it's all one server. Everything is updated simultaneously. So anytime there's a new banner or a new event, the English and Japanese players get it at the exact same time. So I'm hoping that's what they do here. It's still Bandai, so I assume they understand that that's an important thing, especially with what happened with Tales of the Race. So I think it'd be really smart just do a dual release and make sure everything is on the same server. Obviously, there's still an English version and a Japanese version, but obviously whichever one you download is the language that you'll have, but the servers are still shared. So I don't know if they plan to have guilds or anything in this game, but even if they did, you'd be able to, you know, join a Japanese one if you wanted to. I don't know why you would need to if you can't read the language, but you could. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much all I have for this video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Try and be as civil as you can if you have, you know, I'm fine with criticism on the game, but don't just write a comment to, you know, to crap on the creators or to crap on the game. Give legitimate criticism if you're going to give any. But anyways, guys, don't forget to subscribe for more. If you're new to the channel, I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.